Hello there, this is the Power Circuit. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has specially packaged this program to bring you the latest updates on the Nigerian electricity supply industry. I am Amara Agugesi, and here are the top reports today. Power Minister Adelabu seeks increased funding for TCN and stricter anti-vandalism laws. In Kaduna, TCN engages stakeholders as Jaji substations projects progress. Once again, the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Oluwabenga Ajiboye, will be wrapping up an expository session on the role of the transmission segment in the Nigerian power sector value chain, especially as it replaces and expands critical transmission assets. That will be on the interview segment of the Power Circuit. Let's get you through these exciting reports. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, has called on the National Assembly to enhance the appropriation and releases for the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, as the agency does not have enough funds to run its operations.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, being the interface between the electricity generation companies, GENCOs, and the distribution companies, DISCOs, ensures that bulk electricity is delivered to the DISCOs for onward supply to consumers. With its vast transmission substations and lines spanning about 5,000 kilometers across the country, TCN's operations have been threatened by low funding recently. It is in this regard that the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, made the call for increased budgetary funding of TCN while speaking at the retreat organized by the Senate Committee on Power. Chief Adelabu stated that TCN is short of funds as it operates solely on internally generated revenue, which has been nosediving over the years. The minister further said that what TCN gets monthly cannot even pay salary, not to talk of maintaining aging infrastructure and expanding transmission networks. There should be a way to accommodate TCN in appropriation, the minister appealed to the lawmakers. The minister also called for the enactment of stricter legislation aimed at safeguarding Nigeria's power infrastructure from acts of vandalism. Citing the efforts of TCN to improve the national grid, he said TCN installed 61 transformers in 2024 and 13 transformers in the first 4 months of 2025. However, Chief Adelabu decried the situation where vandals and saboteurs continually vandalize power transformers and topple transmission towers. Chairman of Senate Committee on Power, Senator Enyinaya Abaribe, emphasized the crucial role of power supply in supporting small and medium-scale enterprises, which are the backbone of the economy. He assured that lawmakers are committed to addressing the challenges in the power sector, noting that when these businesses shut down due to power outages, it impacts everyone.
In a significant stride towards ensuring sustainable relationship with the host communities, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, and a high delegation from the African Development Bank, AFDP, have held a crucial stakeholders meeting in Jaja and Jaji communities in Kaduna State. TCN commenced the projects in 2022, comprising a 2x150 MVA 330 132 33 kV transmission substation in Jaja community and a 2x60 MVA 132 33 kV substation in Jaji community.
At the meeting in Jaja, the TCN management team, led by the manager, Environment from the Project Implementation Unit of TCN, Engineer Hafiz Karim, appreciated the leadership and people of Kudan local government area, especially the project-affected persons, PAPs, in the community for their support.
Definitely is a must because as we are down there, we are also supervising them. It's something that will tell them before you what we call community knocking. Before you knock on that community door, you must see the village, the traditional ruler first.
The district head of Jaja community, Alhaji Abdullahi Muhammad, assured TCN of maximum support to ensure the successful completion of the projects and urged the team to provide them with regular updates on the projects.
So ahead of that, let us know what it entails so that we discuss with our people. So whatever plans you have will now go along with what our local community do.
The delegation proceeded to Jaji for another meeting with critical stakeholders in the community. The Jaji district head, Alhaji Adamu Saleh, expressed their gratitude for the project, recognizing the vast potential it holds. Other community leaders and PAPs aired their concerns, while the TCN officials assured them on the compensation processes for affected residents. The principal manager, transmission at Kaduna sub-region of TCN, Engineer Amos Akinfe, in an interview after the stakeholders' engagement, spoke more about the projects expected to be completed by the end of this year.
It covers 2 by 150 MVA and it's going to be 330 to 132 to 33 kV. That is one for Jaja. And it's going to be connected to Kano 330 kV line. The other project is for 2 by 60 MVA power transformer. This one is at Jaji and it's going to be connected to Kaduna TS. So that's why it's going to be getting its supply. This project has been awarded to 2 contractors. Basically, the substation is awarded to Shanghai Electric and they have started the project, and by estimation they are supposed to deliver the project by the end of this year, all things being equal. Then the other one is the line, which is 330 kV line, and is given to Sian SV, and this project is expected to be delivered by the ending of this year. But if there is no challenge, if there is challenge, it will be extended to next year. But all things being equal, we are expecting that this project will be delivered at the end of this year, and it's going to help to also help us to deliver good and quality services to the people that live in that environment. We are talking of the people in Okonkwo and the people in Jaji, so that they have enough supply. For a project to move at its pace and to be delivered well, it is important that we meet with the community, because they are also stakeholders in the project. We met with them and they welcomed us well. They were happy that this project is going to add to the value of the project they have. That is going to add to the value of their assets, their land, their properties, and it's also going to affect their community, because it's going to bring development. There will be more resources and so on. So they welcomed us well, and from the fillers, all the PAPs, that people that are affected, that the lands are affected, they have been paid. That's by the TCN. They have been paid by the TCN. They welcome us well, and they say that they are partner in the progress and in the success of this project.
On completion, the Jaji and Jaja substation projects will boost TCN's wheeling capacity by 240 megawatts and 96 megawatts respectively. Just after this timeout, the power circuit will continue. Please stay put.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmits bulk electricity from power generating companies, GenCos, distribution load centers of distribution companies, DISCOs, nationwide. At TCN, we transport bulk electricity at very high voltage to DISCOs, who now off-take it and distributes it directly to electricity customers nationwide. TCN does not generate electricity. We transport the quantum of power generated to distribution load centers. TCN does not distribute electricity directly to electricity consumers. Our job stops where that of the DISCOs begin. TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
Here you are on the interview segment of the Power Circuit. We are wrapping up a session with the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider, also called TSP, at the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Oluwabenga Ajiboye. He speaks about the transmission assets replacement and expansion activities that are ongoing at TCN. Some of the power transmission assets are built decades ago and TCN has been replacing them. Can we have an update on this?
The population is increasing. We have to share the little resources we have both to expansion and reinforcement. Let me put reinforcement as the one that we call replacement of those equipment. And we have what we call upgrading. But what people don't quite realize is that TCN has been working even before people start saying of upgrading. If you go to most of our stations, when they are talking of infrastructure, we never relent. In the past 1 year, we have done upgrade of transformer more than 100. That is, we change from 30 MVA to 60 MVA or to 100 MVA, depending on the requirement of that environment. The second one we are doing is line reconductoring. Sincerely, a conductor have lifespan, that is aluminum conductor. When we know that some of them have exceeded that lifespan and they are being derated, the meaning is that if it can carry 120 megawatt, we realize that it has been derated to like 80 megawatt. It's already due for expansion, for replacement. We call it reconductoring. We have embarked on that one also. And one major problem we have is what you said initially, right of way. We realize that we don't have right of way to urban environment now. What we now do is to reconduct that line to carry twice capacity design initially. But some we still have constraint in that area, in the sense that as we are trying to do those reconductoring, we realize that the tower might need to be changed. That delayed the job. So we keep on expanding. As I've told you, we cannot phase out all the old equipment once. We have what the program we call phase replacement according to the age, which we have embarked on, and we are doing it. But people believe we should invest all the money without expansion or replacing the old equipment. It doesn't work like that. We have equipment. It's true they might say the lifespan is 25, 30, but when you do the proper maintenance, you can elongate it for that 10, 15 years. So we keep on doing that because we don't hear in our maintenance program to be able to make sure we bring those equipment to par to be able to work effectively. So we are doing that about expansion. We are still doing about reinforcement, the replacement of old infrastructure by phase replacement.
What strategies are you deploying to reduce equipment downtime on the national electricity grid?
Equipment downtime depends on what happens. You see this line, they are very long and transfers very dangerous terrain, very rough terrain. Some we don't even use vehicle. We use boat. We use motorbike. We carry motorbike in our patrol vehicle. When we get to a point, we disembark and use motorbike to go into the bush. So we have this scheduled maintenance, one we call predictive one, to be able to mitigate. Okay, if we do this maintenance with proper planning and outages, it will not be shut down one that will now take longer time. So we have these synchronized annual maintenance plans approved by the regulator, which is shared with the GENCO and the distribution. When I want to take an equipment out that is affect generation and distribution, all of us supposed to agree and do the maintenance on the same date so that the downtime will be reduced. It is not that when TCN finish their own, distribution now say, tomorrow I want to do my own, generation say I want to do my own. So if we are going to spend 6 hours, all of us will use that 6 hours downtime to replace it. We have got it to that level of sophistication in the NESI market now, and that is what we are working on. So based on that, we have been able to reduce the downtime on the equipment and be able to work together as a team.
TCN is dealing with issues of the encroachment of power transmission lines. What are you doing to tackle this menace?
In the urban area, it's becoming too rampant. To the extent that accessing some of our towers are becoming difficult, even to work. We have been appealing to the state government because the lands belong to them. Some are cooperating, some are collaborating, but some don't even care. We try to explain to them the danger the people building houses structure very close or even right under the line are exposed to. But people don't care. We have been discussing and we have written letter to the Governors Forum. Unfortunately, the time the meeting was fixed, something happened, it has to be shifted. We are trying to get another time audience. We have been imploring them to gazette our right of way. Some are ready to do it, but some are not willing for reasons unknown to us for now. But with further engagement, we think we will be able to get results. Because it's not only about the safety of our equipment, it's the safety of the populace. When this line drops, it is true we have enough protection to make them inoperative, but we have the sequence of things being done. At the moment we want a reclosure, it can affect people. Despite the fact that it will trip on detachment, but we normally have the privilege of trying a reclosure. During that time, people can be injured or killed. So we always appeal to people, please give the essential right of way to this tower. But some people listen, some don't listen. They still encroach. And we are not law enforcement agents. It's unfortunate that when we want to enforce this, our people are being attacked. There was an instance the military encroached our line, and we tried to go and correct them. They beat us, damaged our vehicle. You can see how lawlessness prevails in some areas. There are military men, we try to explain to them, because they built shed under it. The next thing is they resulted in manhandling us, tore our clothes, and destroyed. Though eventually they apologized when we called the higher authority attention to it, but it's not good. We always appeal to the good conscience of the people to please refrain from encroaching the right of way, for their own safety in particular.
In the new market dispensation, what is the role of TCN in the implementation of the eligible customer regulation?
We have different licenses in the market now, independent, that you can buy power and still set up your enclaves and transport it. But most of them, if not all, rely on TCN because we take the power in bulk to that substation that will be constructed. They are left with the function of distributing it to the people that will use the power. So that is the role. Ours is still to wheel the bulk to whoever wants it at any point in time.
How will the proposed integration of the eastern and western grid transmission systems improve power supply stability?
We are the one that initiated this because we know it will help our flexibility and make the grid more robust. So we are 100% prepared, expecting it to take off so that we can integrate it into our system and make it useful to everybody. So the issue of system disturbance will be drastically reduced. So by the time this one come up, you will see, when we're talking about this axis, we just have like Yola, you have a 330 that radiates there, no other line. When we have problem with the Ugwaji line, everybody was in darkness. We have a situation whereby we can ring the grid. That is the purpose of this eastern and western national grid, so that we have different routes to get to the same point. We are prepared. It's long time overdue. It should have been yesterday, from the design, equipment sourcing, manufacturing. So we should be looking if the financing agreement is reached, maybe 3 years. Because I trust the contractor, when it comes to those type of partnership, they are ready to quickly deliver so that they can start earning their money back. It's not going to be like the budgetary allocation that is going to be financed that can be delayed and is due to dwindling revenue from the FG. This is going to be privately financed and it will be transferred after usage to TCN and federal government.
What is your goal for TCN with the ongoing investments in the power sector?
With the pace the government is going, with the investment in every aspect, with the involvement of the private sector, I'm telling you, by the time all this materialize, everybody will see the reason to rejoice in the country. The government has been investing. We crave the government indulgence to put more investment in power sector and allow favorable conditions for private investors to come in. The general public is to show understanding. Utility assets belongs to your comfort. If you say it's not your own, when they vandalize it, you suffer for it. Then people will be shouting, they don't have light. I used to wonder, where were you when they were vandalizing the transformer in your locality? Yeah. You pass the place, you say, Shebi is disco that hosts it, they are collecting revenue. Before they will bring it back, the discomfort is for you. So when you see something, say something. We know, we keep on telling people around us, those people are vandals, they can harm you. When you see them, just pass and go and report to the nearest police station or security agent. Let them come and apprehend them. So we implore everybody to do their bit. TSP will do, TCN will do, and we pray that God will help us. It's God that will guide all of us.
TCN, through the transmission service provider, is keen at ensuring a robust power transmission system. But all other electricity market participants and even you, the consumer of electricity, has a role to play. When we know our role and play them well, we will be happy about the Nigerian power sector, says Engineer Oluwagbenga Ajiboye, the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at TCN. Always watch out for this segment of the power circuit to gain more in-depth knowledge about the power sector. Here is the highlights of the reports again. Power Minister Adelabu seeks increased funding for TCN and stricter anti-vandalism laws. In Kaduna, TCN engages stakeholders as Jaji substations projects progress. For the interview segment, we concluded an interview session with the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Oluwagbenga Ajiboye. He discussed the ongoing power transmission assets replacement and expansion activities by TCN to ensure a robust national electricity grid. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has made editions of the power circuit available on its YouTube channel for enhanced access and knowledge. We encourage you to support TCN by connecting with all its social media platforms. On Facebook, like TCN via Transmission Company of Nigeria. For X, formerly Twitter, follow at TCN_Nigeria. And on Instagram, get updates by following TCN_Nigeria. TCN officials welcome your observations and comments. Please send them via email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. For more information about TCN's activities, visit the interactive website at www.tcn.org.ng. Additionally, check out www.tcnnews.ng for updates on power sector activities. Let's continue supporting TCN by guarding against vandalism of power transmission lines, towers and substations in your area. Report any suspicious activities aimed at vandalizing or sabotaging power transmission assets to TCN's officials or nearby security operatives. I am Amara Agugisi. Thank you.